This place, it stays with me.
Siz de hemen hangi krediyi indirin, faizsiz 100.000 liraya varan nakit fırsatlarını yakalayın.
Hangi kredi?
In 1964, in the town of Guadalajara, Mexico, a boy was born who would grow up to bring cinema lovers some of the most fantastical screen images of the modern era. His name is Guillermo del Toro.
My nanny or nannies, they used to tell me all these horrible stories about demons and dismemberment and mutilation, and they were supposed to put me to sleep. So my childhood was pretty full of perversity and madness.
Though the future director was attracted to the macabre from a young age, he already understood a fundamental truth about the world.
When I was a very young kid, I truly was redeemed by these figures. I didn't, where other people saw horror, I saw beauty, and where people saw normalcy, I saw horror. When I realized that the true monsters are in the human heart, it was not the appearance.
After cutting his teeth in his homeland, Guillermo burst onto the Hollywood scene in the late 90s with the sci-fi thriller Mimic. But sadly, he was too inexperienced to stand up for himself against studio interference and was not happy with the final result.
I've been doing this for 25 years, and with the exception of 1997 Mimic, which was a very difficult production that was compromised, other than that, the movies I've made are movies that I feel I need to make.
He went on to earn a reputation as a very detail-oriented filmmaker, with darkly beautiful projects like Hellboy and Pan's Labyrinth.
I'm a complete control freak, yes. I don't sleep much. I wake up in the middle of the night dreaming of the day. I wake up my wife. You know, it's horrible. Living with me is brutal.
He took the next few years off from directing to do things like write a book and start his own production company, but returned to cinemas in 2013 with the Robots vs. Giant Monsters epic Pacific Rim, a risky move that Del Toro wasn't sure audiences would be on board for.
You always have doubts. What are you talking about? No one knows. Right. That's the one thing you learn over decades of doing this.
Perhaps buoyed by Pacific Rim's success, Guillermo's next two films were his most personal yet. First, 2015's Crimson Peak, a modern take on a classic ghost story. It came straight from Del Toro's childhood.
My whole family has had experiences. You know, everybody. The opening of the movie is based on an experience my mother had, visited by the ghost of her grandmother in her bed. That's the opening of the movie, is based on that.
And then there was The Shape of Water in 2017, a highly original blend of horror and romance.
The idea was, can I make a monster movie, fairy tale, that ends the different way than the normal fairy tale? Can I make Beauty and the Beast without the Beast having to turn into a very boring prince at the end? You know, can I find magic in a time that is very vulgar in a way?
The utterly unique movie maestro Guillermo del Toro shows no signs of slowing down and looks to have many powerful and thought-provoking pieces of cinema still in his future.
Well, I think that the important thing about fables and fairy tales is that they were created to address things that you cannot address as easily and embody as beautifully as you do with parable, you know, which is what we are. And I think the important thing tonight in many ways is that we have a place in the cinematic conversation that has led to the creation of beautiful, powerful images, but also thematic weight. And I think that this was very prescient for me, as it is for anybody that lives as the other in a society, to talk about it, and I talked about it through this fable.
This Texas-born American beauty may not be a daredevil when it comes to her outfits, but she always looks like a miracle from heaven when she steps onto the red carpet. Yes, we're talking about popular actress Jennifer Garner. Jen loves classic glamour and an old-school Hollywood style, and the stunning starlet rarely puts a fashion foot wrong. In 2002, she picked up an award at the Golden Globes wearing this simple red dress, showcasing her slim figure. A few years later, at the Oscars, the actress opted for sequins over satin and some matching bling-bling. Then, during the Globes in 2010, Jen again went for a sparkling gown and silver jewelry. Always a standout at big award shows, in 2013, the lovely brunette had all eyes on her in a vibrant fuchsia gown from Gucci, accessorized with $2.5 million worth of Neil Lane jewelry. No wonder her then hubby Ben Affleck looked so protective. The following year, she was modern and classy in a sleeveless dress that featured a molten silver-themed top and a solid black skirt at the premiere of Men, Women, and Children. Attending the opening of her Disney hit The Odd Life of Timothy Green, Garner donned a brick red dress from Lanvin, perfectly gathered and draped to show off her shape. While to unveil Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, she opted for a simple all-black look, featuring a Valentino mini dress and Jimmy Choo shoes. Returning to the Oscars in 2014, Miss Garner was wearing a 1920s-inspired custom Oscar de la Renta, and in 2016 she was back in black with this gorgeous asymmetrical Versace dress. In 2018, the fashionable actress went all out again at the Academy Awards, wearing this deep blue number with matching earrings, showing that she lives in Technicolor and we're all stuck in black and white. We dare you to watch it without sunglasses. Simple, stylish, and chic, the talented Jennifer Garner never ever disappoints on the red carpet.
Yıldız Tozu başlıyor.
1993 yapımı bu çocuğun hayatında Robert De Niro'nun üvey oğlu olarak izlemiştik onu. Aradan geçen uzun yıllara öyle bir kariyer sığdırdı ki o ufaklığın geldiği noktaya inanmak zor gerçekten de. Bu süreçteki 4 Oscar adaylığının ardından dirilişle özlediği ödüle ulaştı sonunda. Evet, kariyerini çeşitlendirme konusunda çok önemli adımlar attı. Farklı rollerle performans aralığını genişletti. Ama Titanic'teki Jack Dawson karakteriyle anılmaktan kurtulamadı. Kurtulmak gibi bir niyeti yoktu belki de. Martin Scorsese'nin gözdesi olmakla kalmadı, Danny Boyle, Steven Spielberg, Ridley Scott, Woody Allen, Sam Mendes, Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, Clint Eastwood gibi ustaların tedrisatından da geçti. 2000'lerin ortasından itibaren yapımcılığa da el atan ufaklık, çevre ve insan hakları konularındaki hassasiyetiyle de ön plana çıkıyor. Yaptığı bağışların haddi hesabı yok. Robert De Niro ve Jack Nicholson'ı en iyi aktörler olarak gören Leonardo DiCaprio, Star Wars serisinde Hayden Christensen'ın canlandırdığı Anakin Skywalker rolü içinde düşünülmüş. Hayden Christensen'ın o rolden sonraki hızlı düşüşünü görünce iyi ki olmamış mı desek?
Yıldız Tozu başlıyor.
1980'lerde müzik dünyasına bomba gibi düşmesinin hemen ardından sinemaya da ilham vermeye başlayan Madonna, Çılgın Madonna filmiyle ivmelenen kariyerinde Evita'daki mükemmel performansıyla Altın Küre ödülü kazanmayı da başarmıştı. Özellikle usta aktör Sean Penn ve yönetmen Guy Ritchie ile yaptığı evliliklerle magazin gündeminden düşmeyen sanatçı, sahnelerdeki kuralları yıkan görüntüsünü beyaz perdeye de taşımış, cesur doğasının izlerini 7. sanata ödünç vermişti. Sean Penn'le başrolleri paylaştıkları Shanghai Bonita ya da Guy Ritchie'nin yönettiği Swept Away gibi filmlerle piyasayı çalkalama işlevini de ustaca yerine getirmişti. Martin Scorsese'nin Casino'sunda Sharon Stone'un canlandırdığı Ginger rolünü yana yakıla istemesine rağmense yönetmeni bir türlü ikna edememişti. Frida Kahlo, Pablo Picasso ve Salvador Dali gibi ressamların tablolarından oluşan geniş bir koleksiyonu da olan Madonna, klasik sinema yıldızları Carole Lombard, Betty Grable ve Katharine Hepburn'un de koyu bir hayranı.
Gonna be okay, okay, okay.
In this episode of Zoom In, a brief encounter takes a dangerous turn in the psychological thriller starring Nia Long and Omar Epps, Fatal Affair.
Wow, seems like you're living a dream. Unless it's trouble in paradise.
I do have the perfect life, but you know, one day you wake up and the person sleeping next to you feels like a complete stranger.
Things had worked out differently. You would never feel like you're sleeping with a stranger.
Together with Stephen Bishop, the film stars discuss how they got into the psyche of their latest characters.
My research process was pretty easy. This was set in the Bay Area, and I grew up a lot of my life in the Bay Area, so I just went back to some of the pictures of parents and some of my memories of the way people dressed and the sensibilities of people up in that area. It helped me remember the brisk air up in the Bay Area and how people layered their wardrobe, and it did actually help me, shift gears from Stephen into Marcus every day when I came into work.
So David, listen, you gotta tell me, I'm familiar with tech consulting, but what's your lane? What's your specialty?
I'm the guy you hire when you need information that doesn't want to be found.
Distributed by Netflix.
I can't, I'm sorry.
Production budget, $15 million.
Return my calls, you don't return my text.
I am married.
Directed by Peter Sullivan.
Good morning.
Ellie is an attorney. She works for a big corporate law firm. Her and her husband decide to leave the city and move to the beach to be by the water, to sort of reignite the love in their marriage. And she opens her own law firm.
This is a big lifestyle change, you know?
It's our time.
But before she makes the official move, she meets David, computer tech guy, played by Omar Epps.
Ellie.
David, hi.
And they actually went to college together.
It's been a long time, huh?
20 years. You look like it's been 20 minutes.
He is super intelligent and highly terrifying.
I got a confession to make.
Please.
I knew you worked at the firm before I took the job.
Really?
Yeah. Janice inquired about my services. I found out you worked there. I figured it'd be fun for us to catch up, work together. I hope you don't mind.
No, not at all.
I gotta tell you, if things had worked out differently, you would never feel like you're sleeping with a stranger.
If only.
I've never been offered a thriller of any kind, and literally, I kid you not, a couple months later, the script landed in my lap. So I thought, oh, that's a sign.
I'll do what you want, do as you please. Can't take anymore. Won't you come rescue me? Please set me on fire. Please set me on fire. Please set me on fire.
I've always loved Omar, and we grew up in this business. He's like a brother to me, and we see things the same. It's like, when you can like talk shorthand with someone? That's what I have with Omar, and I needed that for Fatal Affair.
That should have never happened.
My research process for this role was I read a little information about stalker behavior, patterns, and things of that nature. There were some things I kind of wanted to see if there were parallels in behavior and mindsets. And I found that there are like psychological traits within certain people. So I kind of took some of that information and made it my own. No one has to know about us.
Us? There is no us.
Would your husband think that?
If you even think about calling my
I'm not
husband.
saying that I would, but I could.
This has got to stop.
Development for this character was super cerebral because it was just all in his head. It was creating this universe within a universe. So that was challenging but fun at the same time. You want to be discreet.
I need you to leave me alone.
To me, that this role was a chance to play the bad guy.
I hope you don't mind the last minute +1.
Hi, I'm David.
You guys want a tour?
to prepare for this role. I did work on the script a lot because we want to stay true to the formula that works so beautifully, but elevate it in a way that would make it a little bit more twisted.
The most intimidating and exciting aspect of playing the role was existing within the space of a person who has the ability to snap and not be in control of that. I would freak people out on set because regardless of us being in the scene or doing another take, I just would throw the rhythm off all the time.
I can be obsessive about detail because it makes the characters memorable. I'm starring in this film and producing this film. I was not going to let up on the things that I believed in because it wasn't just for me, it was for all of you watching. I know what we like, and I hope I got it right.
Can't you see? We were meant to be together.
Everything he's done has all been to get to me.
This is such a great song.
Hello? Is anyone there? Somebody?
So that's a wrap on Fatal Affair. See you next time. We zoom in.
Her sabah aynı rutin. Ama farkında mısın? Her tabakta kalan bir tarlanın emeği. Farkında mısın? Uyurken bile tüketiyoruz. Elektriği, geleceği. İsraf sadece çöpte bitmez. Sağlıkta da başlar.
İhtiyacınız olmayanları almayın lütfen.
Farkında mısın? Bir sayfa, bir ağaç. Bir ağaç, bir orman. Farkında mısın? Farkında olmadan geleceği tüketiyoruz. Farkındalık küçük bir adımla başlar. İsrafa karşı ilk adım farkında olmak.
Bu diziyi dilerseniz Türkçe dublajlı, dilerseniz kumandanızın sarı tuşuna basarak orijinal dilinde Türkçe altyazılı izleyebilirsiniz.